Yes. Thanks for your positive review of the Ice Storm, which I took a chance on and enjoyed. Yes, that's right. I'm a big fan. New Canaan, Connecticut. I lived like one town over from New Canaan, Connecticut. I remember when that film came out, I think my mom had friends who were living in New Canaan, Connecticut. They hated the film. They really hated the film. So it's the same thing too. Like, I don't remember the reaction myself, but I might have mentioned this before. I don't remember specifically, but I was reminded by my mother years after the fact that when I was very, very little, when I was very, very young, Chloe Sevigny, was my babysitter. She babysat me, I think once or twice, something like that. And because we were living in this place in Connecticut called Darien, Connecticut. And so she was, I think, just a little bit older than I, but she was of a certain age that it was acceptable to have her babysit me or something. So it was like a, and then Mrs. Sevigny, her mother was my nursery school teacher. So lovely, what a lovely, lovely person she was, Mrs. Sevigny. So warm, so always with a smile on her face. So warm indeed, Mrs. Sevigny. Actually, I remember more. I have more memories of Mrs. Sevigny than I do of Chloe Sevigny. I don't remember actually. I don't remember any interactions that I had with Chloe Sevigny directly, but I have these strong memories of Mrs. Sevigny as my nursery school teacher. And then I remember one day, I think maybe somewhat later, I was a little bit older, and my mom maybe met up with Mrs. Sevigny, or she ran into her somewhere, in a store or shopping or something, and then they were friends, and so I think this was around the time that the film Kids was released, and my mom said, "Oh, by the way, I heard Chloe is in a new movie. That's so great. How is it?" And I remember, my mom said to me later after the fact, that she mentioned the fact that she heard that Chloe Sevigny was in the film Kids, and she was trying to be enthusiastic about it to Mrs. Sevigny, and my mom said, she told me later, she said, "Yeah, I remember I mentioned Kids, and I probably shouldn't have mentioned, because I mentioned Kids to Mrs. Sevigny, and she suddenly turned so down, and she looked very, very upset, and she didn't want to talk about it at all." So, but anyway, yeah, so that's at least my now very foggy, hazy memories of Mrs. Sevigny. But such a lovely woman, very, very pleasant, such a wonderful role model. But anyway,